Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
ಬಟ್ ಮಧು ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಏನೋ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ.
No, it is coming.
Wait, 20-second delay.
ಓಕೆ ಬಂತು ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈವ್ ಇದೆ ಈಗ.
Yes, good evening to everybody. Welcome to this session of the ARSI webinar. We have been trying to conduct frequent webinars to bring about information regarding various aspects of amateur radio on behalf of ARSI. This session is going to be on the introduction and the guidance to participate in the new VU HF VUDX HF contest organized by ARSI. This is being introduced from this year. Our contest manager and the awards manager is Girish, Old Man VO3 Golf Delta Sierra, who will be taking you through the contest guidelines, the rules, regulations, operating procedures, and we have and he has developed a contest window for N1mm pertaining to this particular contest. He'll take you through the process of getting it up on N1mm. So welcome all. As of now, we have 16 viewers online, and I can see Commander Raghunath, Popanna, Sridhar VU3 GLS, Arun Kumar Narasimhan, VU2 Bravo Foxtrot, and VU2 Echo X-Ray Papa. Girish has been a keen contester. He basically operates CW, but he is not averse to operating SSB and making QSOs on voice also. So take it up, Girish. All yours. We will be having the session, the presentation, and at the end of it, we'll have question and answers. Questions will be answered. You can type in your queries or clarifications on the live chat on YouTube. The same will be answered by Girish. So hope you all enjoy this session, learn out of it, and we have lots of participation in this first time contest from VU, where we are concentrating on making DX QSOs also. Take it up, Girish, with GDS with MUD.
Thanks, Madhu. Good evening, all. This is Girish, VU3 Golf Delta Sierra, ARSI contest and awards manager. So we are all excited. We're just about a week away from the VUDX HF contest, and this webinar is a precursor to it, just to go through all the rules, and the tools. I'll be, like Madhu said, I'll be focusing on N1mm. So why this contest was basically ideated by ARSI team to foster contesting among the VU hams, right? We do see a lot of contesters already present, but as ARSI, we would like to have more contesters in the DX map, and this is one of the small steps that we as ARSI are taking to get more VU contesters who will be regular on DX contests, and more importantly, still for a lot of DX stations, VU is a rare entity, and they would be more than happy to work VUs. So having said that, let's get into the webinar. This is for mostly newcomers, for some of them who are new to contesting, though they're old timers in amateur radio. So what is contesting, right? Ham radio or an amateur radio contest is basically a competition, right? Who makes most number of QSOs with as many stations around the world, or depending on conditions. Uh, you know, that is the whole goal of the context. Um, to make maximum number of QSOs. So there is a time limit. There is a lot of conditions. Each contest is different. We have a lot of contests around the world. Some of them are very very popular. Some of them are keenly marked on in the calendar. There are thousands of log entries that come in. So there are different criteria to each contest. Some of them are geographically focused, like the India contest, the VU contest that we are organizing. The focus is on India. I'll explain what that focus means. Then there's a lot of difference in terms of exchange of information. There are just QRP contests, so there are operating conditions are there. So there are different contests. And VU contest is of the first type, which is a geographical location. Of course, there's a combination, but when we say geographical focus, we are saying the contest is for India and for the DX to work VU hams. That is the whole goal of the contest. So as VU, if you're on the VU side, you get to work more DX contests in that 24 DX stations, sorry, in the 24-hour period that we have in the contest. And vice versa, if you're on the DX side, you will know for sure that there are a lot of VU stations who are going to be available online, on air rather, during this 24-hour period. So it'll be easy for them to work rather than regular DX conditions. So that's the whole goal. It's a win-win for both sides, right? uh, Again, for newcomers, there are different contesting strategies that we use during contests. um, Basically it's the run and SNP, or search and pounce. So what is it as a run, and I'll explain to you down when I show the N1mm, how do you use it. uh, it is not a N1mm or a contesting tutorial, but it's basically giving a skimming through the at a high level for what a contest strategy is. So in a run mode, use as whether it doesn't matter whether you are on the DX side or on the VU side in this contest. You park yourself on a frequency, say on 14 megahertz, and SSB, you park yourself on 14200. Make sure there's nobody else there, and you start calling CQ contest, right? CQ VU contest, and you will have a DX person respond to you, or a VU person also might respond to you, and exchange whatever is relevant information. What this allows you to do is you can sit on that frequency and keep calling CQ till you're tired, HI, right? People will keep coming in, giving you the reports, and then QSYing. So that way you will be able to make a lot of QSOs in a short period of time. Now also used during a lot of D expeditions, right? The other mode is a search and pounce, right? So what what is done in search and pounce is you chase other stations, right? You are now looking to work a specific, let's say a Canadian station, or a rare Peru or a Paraguay station, right? Then you can realize where they are on which frequency, or you're just tuning around the band. You see that you hear a rare station, you just exchange that information and then you move on, right? So technically you are scanning the band, looking for somebody, exchanging the information relevant to the contest. Obviously they also have to be in the contest, and then you just keep increasing. So that way you are in your run, if you didn't get those stations, you can use that for multipliers, and I'll come to what is a multiplier, logging and all that, right? Uh, so the one disadvantage, if you could ask, if you ask me, when with a SNP compared to a run mode, could be, it's slow, because obviously you'll have to wait. There'll be other persons, there'll be a lot of pile up, so you will have to wait. So the QSO rates obviously will be slower when compared to run, but obviously it's advantageous, because with multipliers you will get to increase your final scores. uh, Now coming to the the ARSI view context in perspective, right? Uh, so the context is the modes that have been uh, finalized are CW, SSB, and mixed. So what this means, you can either do only CW, uh, you can either do only SSB, or you can do both QSOs, right? So you can switch between both of them. Each of them is a different category. I'll come to the category part. Um, Power operations, low, anything less than 100 watts, uh, and high power is anything more than 100 watts. And of course, um, uh, it's up to allowed legal limits as per individual licenses. So in some countries it is 1 kilowatt, some countries is 1.5 kilowatt, some is 400. So it's entirely up to the license holder to maintain those limits, legal limits, right? The bands allowed are 40 meter, 20, 15, and 10. Request everybody to maintain the band plans, as per IARU and international standards and best practices. Uh, the categories are, you can do we are only limiting ourselves to single op this time. Depending on how we get the response, maybe we'll get multi op also next year. But we have single op all band, which means you can work 40, 20, 15, and 10 uh, in either CW, SSB, or mixed, and a low or high. So you have all these permutations and combinations. Remember, a small caveat here: if you're working 20, 15, and 10, or 40 and 20, anything more than one will still be considered all band. You don't necessarily have to make QSOs in all four bands to be considered for all band. Even if you're submitting logs for two bands, it is still considered all band. It's either single band or all band, right? um, then we have single band, so you can only work on 40 meter CW or 40 meter SSB, or 40 meter mixed, with a low or high, all combinations. This is for the different categories that we have identified for this contest, right? And coming to the most important aspect is the exchange information, right? This is very, very critical, because what you exchange, uh, depending on, if it is decoded or entered correctly by the other station, right? Both ways, right? Will ultimately have an impact on your scores. If you're a view station, I'll start with the view station. If you're a view station, you exchange the RST, T for CW, or it's just the RS, and a two-letter state or the union territory code. On the arsi.info/dx contest, on the contest web page, we have listed all the valid state codes or union territory codes that you should exchange, right? um, this So for example, I'll just give a quick example for SSB. If let's say K3LR responded to your CQ call, uh, he will say, let's say VU3 GDS, then I will tell him, okay, K3LR, your 59 KA or kilo alpha, right? That's all you have to exchange, 59 kilo alpha. In return, if you see on the other side, the non-VU or the DX stations will respond back with a serial number. It's a running number. It will start from 001 and it will go on, right? So if I say K3LR, your 59 kilo alpha, for Karnataka, K3LR will respond back to me saying, VU3 GDS, you are 59001 or 012 or 101, whatever that number is. That has to be noted down. This is very critical, because when we do the log matching, this is the only way we can identify that you and the other DX station or the VU station have established a valid contact. Of course, there is band and all that have to match, but this is the most critical part. VU to VU, it actually doesn't matter. You can exchange the state codes, but I'll come to that. There is from when I hit upon the multipliers part, right? So that's how the whole exchange works. For CW, it will be 599 KA, and you'll receive the same 599 with a 00 something or a 090, whatever that number is, right? Um, now duplicates are not allowed. Uh, what does a duplicate mean? I mean, working the same station twice, but there are some caveats to it. You can work one station only once per band per mode, right? I'll just give an example. I'll take the same K3LR, VU3 GDS as me. I have worked K3LR on SSB on let's say 40 meters, right? Uh, I can still work K3LR on um, on 40 meters, but on CW. I can't work K3LR on 40 meters SSB again. It will be considered as a duplicate and won't be counted, right? We have put in error checking conditions to N1MM, which will warn you. You can still log it, but it will be considered as a dupe. It won't be accepted. It won't be counted for scoring, right? So it's once per band per mode, right? So which means I can do a K3LR on 40 SSB, on 20 CW, 20 SSB. All these unique combination of band and mode with the same DX station is possible, right? Of course, you have to also remember that K3LR will be giving different serial numbers, whenever he makes a contact with you. So that is again very critical. Um, so coming to the points, um, from a VU perspective, uh, if you make a QSO with a VU station, another VU station, irrespective of band or mode, you get 1 point for every QSO. However, if you make a QSO with a DX station, irrespective of band or mode, you get 3 points per QSO, right? Uh, on the other side, I don't know if there are any non-VU listeners on this chat, on this channel today. I heard there might be some. Uh, for non-VU or the DX stations, for every contact with a VU station, you get 3 points. No contacts for QSO with a non-VU station. This is specifically for DX stations. So if you realize, DX stations get points only if they work VU stations and exchange proper reports with VU stations. So reiterating, it's a geographical focus is India, right? Um, so so now you have done all the QSOs. We come to the other important point, which is a multiplier, right? What's a multiplier? Basically, it's a number which will be multiplied to the total number of QSO points, right? Let's say I worked 10 DX stations as VU3 GDS. So which means it's 10 into 3, I get 30 points, right? Now, if there are 10 unique DX stations, I get, that is unique DXEC entities, I get 10 multipliers. So which means my score now becomes 30 into 10, 300, right? Uh, that's how the multiplier thing works for VU. Uh, for non-VU, every state code per band that becomes a unique multiplier, right? So this is a very critical aspect where we are looking at increasing the number of QSOs that DX stations have with VU and vice versa, right? So if I work out of the same, if I take the same example, um, 10 DX QSOs, but out of which I have two US stations, right? Let's say K3LR and W3LPL. Then the second multiplier is not counted because it's only once per band, right? So it is uh, I'll have only 9 multipliers, so 30 into 9 becomes 270. That's how the scoring happens, right? So it's finally total QSO points into total multipliers that have been earned. So this is how the scoring is going to happen. Very critical. I reiterate, very critical that you copy the information that is sent by the other station clearly, and also on the other side, make sure your information that you sent is copied by the station correctly. This is the essence of having a maximum number of points with less number of disqualifications or deductions, right? There are no negative points, no negative markings for any of the if there's any error, it cannot be considered for points. That's all. Right. This of course will be on a later point when we start using softwares to calculate the scores. So this is again for some newcomers also who are new to contesting. Some of the tools in contesting we use, obviously you will used by majority of the contesters throughout the world. Um, for some Mac users, you have rumlog. Log4om is there also on Windows. A lot of these are available. Um, we also use spotting clusters. A spotting cluster is basically an online uh, let me say a tool or a software like this, right, which will tell you which uh, stations are available on which frequency on which mode at this point of time. And you'll know if, for example, if you see this, there's some contest going on right now, and it says this station Papa 5 Kilo Papa is a part of this Pharaoh Phila. This person is part of the VU context. This will just increase your chance of people. If you remember the run mode, right? Tuned to your the search and pounds mode, tuned to your frequency, because this software also tells you, the online page tells you which frequency the this particular person is, right? You can use this to go chase them and get your confirm your QSO, right? So that is used. Then we also have DX cluster, another form. We use a lot of maps like VOA cap, uh, MUF, to see what is the propagation conditions. I'm just skimming through. This is more. There are a lot of videos and tutorials available on how to read them. This is basically if you're chasing DX in a very rigid way, rare station, even for the contest, if you're looking for good multipliers, right? We also have reverse beacon network. For this, for people to see how your signals have been propagated, to know, make sure your antennas are fine, your signals are reaching in the right direction, your antenna directivity is fine, things like that, right? This is just to make sure your contest setup stations is working as expected. Um, so with this, I will just start going through the N1MM. So N1MM, the software looks something like this. Um, uh, it's freely available, downloaded on you can download it on Windows. uh, what we have to do, I'll dive into how we use it. um, I start a new log. You select the contest station as VUDX contest. What happens is you will be in the website in the next a couple of days, right? We will publish this zip file on the website. You have to copy this. There's a readme also fully available, which will tell you which files have to be extracted into which locations, and what you have to do if you're a view station or if you're a non-view station. It's pretty straightforward. There's nothing there's no rocket science here. um, so once this is done, it's copied all to the locations. You'll have to, when you restart N1MM, let me just open it properly. Yeah, so you have two files. It's called contest files. Basically, it will tell you all the rules, and a lot of things are pre coded in it. So you, for VU hams, you have to choose VU station as the contest in the VU DX thing. um, and you can import the section list if you want to. It will just give you this, and you have to enter your state. Let's say I enter KA, right, and your call sign here. So this is important. And your operator, obviously it's only single operator here, whether you're working one band or all band, right? Power high low, QRP is not there, so it's just high or low, right? Mode is either CW SSB or only CW or SSB, right? You can choose. And other stations are other parameters, you can leave it to default. Once this is done, um, let me see if I can open all the windows. This is just my preference of how I open these windows, but you can configure it the way you want to. A lot of tutorials available on N1MM. So let's say I'm doing a SSB contact. I say CQ VU DX contest. I do the same example. W3 LPL responded to me. You'll see a red one here, which means it's a new multiplier, right? It's a new station. You have to work it. You'll get the sent received. He will give a receive report. You have to just type it. Let's say 013. He gives a report, and you log it, right? The moment you log it, your scores will start showing up here, right? So if you see here, we logged it on 10 meters USB, right? We got 3 points, and because we worked one country, you get that, and it shows here in the log, detailed log, also saying I worked W3 LPL at this time, this frequency. This is the exchange that I got, right? And there is a multiplier here. Now let's assume I work one other US station itself, right? See, it's not red now. It was red earlier. It's not red because it's not a new multiplier, because I'm working the same country in the same band and the mode, right? So he gives me a 001. I log it. Excuse me. So I have 6 points, but only one multiplier. Now, if I work K3LR, right, it shows a dupe because I'm still in the same, how do I put it? Band and mode, right? So if I work K3LR on 15 meters USB, right? Obviously, it changed here. It became red again, which means I get a new number. He might give me a 00 or 020, right? I just log it. So if you see, these are the numbers that start up, right? And I get two multipliers here. So if you see the point scoring, this is what NNMM does. So I have 9 points, 3 QSOs with DX stations, 9 points, 2 multipliers. My score becomes 18. I can also do VU3 GDS. No, I should do VU2 MUD. I'll do this. This is not needed. So I can just do KA. He might send a KA. I'll log it. That's fine. I get only 1 point, no multiplier. No multiplier for working with VUs. It is only multipliers are only working with, DX stations, right? Um, so finally, now let's assume you finished all of this, and the most important thing, right? Let me go back to my uh, presentation. Right? Once all of this is done, the most critical part again comes back, right? The other critical part, right? Logs have to be submitted. Logs have to be mailed to this address. It's all there in the contest sheet. How do you export the logs? Let me go back to N1MM, right? After you finish everything, you say file, and there's an export, and sorry, there's one generate Cabrillo file, right? It'll just say all of this. You say yes. You can, let's say test.log, right? Make sure it is all there. You can also open it, edit it in Notepad or whatever choice of your editor. It's a simple text file. It will give you all the details of what QSOs were happened. This format is very important. It's a standard format. It's Cabrillo 3.0 format. The NVNMM will do it for you. You don't have to worry. So it will tell you your, say, what QSO you made with these stations, and what report you received, what you sent, right? This has to be submitted to logs at mail to logs at rc.info, max by 7 days, right? Please don't generate any other format. You have ADIF, you have other formats. Only Cabrillo format. No paper logs, please. We don't have the bandwidth to process them, and it has to be in the Cabrillo 3.0 format. Otherwise, it will not be considered for scoring, right? This has to be the format. You don't have to change. You can just use this for verification. You can edit this if you think you want to change it to it was fixed or high, you want to make it low by mistake, you entered it. You can edit all this, but make sure this structure is the same. That is the way N1MM works, right? I'll not go deep into N1MM on how it works and all that. That's a separate webinar on its own. But effectively, this is all you have to do, right? Uh, chase DX, log them, get all the information correct, and then just send them, send it to logs at arsi.info, and we should be done with it. that pretty much sums up what I had to say. Um, yeah, next would be the the nice part of it, right? So every participant will get a electronic certificate, will be downloadable from our website. um, Again, critical log has to be submitted before the deadline, 7 days from the end of the contest, which means it will be the first Sunday of October, right? I don't know the date, but that will be the first Sunday of October. um, uh, Plaques will be awarded DX. You know, so we are giving a special award for uh, the top 3 DX stations who work 10 different states, right? Doesn't matter across band mode, doesn't matter. But for top 3 DX stations, we are giving special plaques for calling it worked all VU. Um, Top score in each category. So if you realize the number of categories that we have, the permutation combination is, I think it comes up to some 30 or 40 totally, right? So you have single op, SSB low, single op, SSB high, CW low, CW high, mixed low, mix high, then like this it goes on to some 40 different categories, right? So there are a lot of categories. We encourage everybody to participate. Doesn't matter you have to work on all the bands, you can just work 10 meters, just put up a simple dipole. 10 meters conditions are good off late on 10 meters. Late evenings is very good, 15 meters and 10 meters. We encourage you to work. Doesn't matter if it is CW or SSB, just get on the air, just make a lot of DX contacts, and enjoy the contest. That's the whole thing. You learn a lot because you have only a 24-hour gap, right? It's only a 24-hour duration. Effectively, you will have to work as many DX or stations as possible during this 24-hour duration. So that effectively uh, brings us to the end of what I had to present. I think, Madhu, I think we can go for a Q&A. Madhu?
Okay, sorry. Was
Oh, I
viewing
thought I was
the
talking blank. I didn't realize. Okay.
no, no, I was viewing the questions on YouTube.
Sure.
Got diverted. Okay. Thank you, Guru, uh, for this.
Yeah, I will. Good evening, all. This is Ramesh Kumar, V12U. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Ramesh.
Okay. Am I audible, Girish?
Yeah. Yes, Ramesh, you are.
Okay. Yeah. So there were a couple of questions.
I was talking blank. I didn't realize. Okay.
No, I was viewing the questions on YouTube.
Sure.
Actually, Girish.
Thank you, Guru, for this.
Yeah, I will. Good evening, all. This is Ramesh Kumar, V12U. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Ramesh.
Okay. So sorry, I think there was a gap in between.
Yeah. Yes, Ramesh, you are. Okay. I think somebody is on YouTube. They have to mute it. I'm able to hear Ramesh.
Okay. Yeah. So there was one question. What if somebody is not using N1mm? That was a question by two people here, due to NSL and also one more ham. So what do they do? And if they are not on the N1mm, what field should they leave blank?
So
That was-
what we'll be doing is we will be publishing a sample log, right, on the website in the next 1 or 2 days. So whichever software you're using, every software, contesting software today supports Cabrillo 3.0 format. Just make sure you export into this format. We'll put up a sample on the website along with the N1mm UDC files. We'll put the sample up so that it becomes easy for them to refer back.
Okay. So I think there were many other questions which myself and Krishna Kumar and Madhu have answered. Do we have any further questions for Girish?
Okay, there are a few other things. Uh, Bopanna, VO3 BOP wanted to know what if I contact a station who is not in the contest? How does the reporting work in such cases, Girish?
Uh, okay, good question. So this is only for contesting. So any DX or any station who is not able to send a report, that log will not be considered. They have to be part of the contest because the exchange information is very critical.
Girish, see, suppose VU ham contacts a DX station and the VU ham submits the log, but the DX station doesn't submit the log.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the
Then we'll
VU
not be
ham,
able to verify.
yeah, the VU ham contact is not qualified.
It won't be qualified until we get the log from the other side. We won't know if it is a valid. Otherwise, I mean, I'm no offense meant to anybody. I can just enter all the call signs that I know and say, yeah, I contacted them, right? It will not be fair to others.
Okay, I think, sorry, Bopana, I answered you the other way around. My apologies on that. Actually, I told in the chat that his contact will be valid.
No, it won't be valid. The DX ham also will be submitting logs. Everybody has to submit logs, and we will be verifying information across the logs, right? For exactly with this information, right? So if W3 LPL here, if you see my screen, W3 LPL has submitted his log, then this information should match. He should have sent a 59013, and the VU station or me in this case would have received a 59K, sent a 59K and received a 59013. So that has to match.
Does all the international contests work the same way, Girish?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Mohan Sundaram, I think it is VO2 ICI, if I'm not mistaken. How does the DX know the contest format?
Yeah. Okay. Uh, in the website itself, in the rules, we have published that it is Cabrillo 3, and that's a standard font format across 90 or most of the contests that I have seen, right? So it's a known thing, and we are going to publish this sample Cabrillo format in the page in the next 1 or 2 days, right? So it will be there for a reference.
Okay, Mohan's, see, we are also already listed in the international contest calendar website, Whiskey Alpha 7 Bravo November Mike, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
There, our contest is already listed, which has got a link to our website with the rules and regulations, rules and other formats, Mohan. And also, this international this contest calendar website is followed by most of the active contesters. In fact, there is a possibility, there is a way where we can link it to our Google calendar, and it will send out alerts before the contest. And for your information, the ARSI VUDX contest has already been put on the calendar, and I've already received the alert that it is 1 week away. Girish, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm showing that here now on my screen, right? If you see ARSA viewed DX contest is already scheduled for 28, 29 September, right? It is there in the contest calendar, and clicking here there's a link here to say this is the thing, in the page to all the rules. And
Okay, Girish, Abby Alexander, V2ABE suggests VU should also be allowed multipliers for states other than his or her own. So I told him that that suggestion is taken, but what he says is, can this be implemented for the current contest?
see, working states, the whole idea of creating this contest was to work DX, right? view states working. We do have other contests that we have, the field day, view 40 meters. All those contests are already there, right? This is the focus is to make get view stations to work DX, and also the more importantly get view contesters to get exposed to international contesting rules and exposure, basically, right? So that was the whole idea, and that is why working VU, while it is not discouraged, we are I mean, it is more of, it is lesser priority, right? That's why we are not giving multipliers for VU working a different state.
Yeah. Okay. I think Abhi. I think that is the answer from the contest manager. We have Nagaraj City asking, what if the log is generated in log4OM?
Yeah. So log4OM also has a export option of Cabrillo. So I have honestly, to be frank, I've not worked in log4OM. But if it says it supports Cabrillo 3.0, then it doesn't matter. It'll be the same thing. You have to make sure all the fields are there when you configure log4OM, so that when you generate the Cabrillo, these fields get exported.
Nagaraj, you'll have to ensure that when you're using the log format, your report will be generated with KA as your exchange, and a serial number or a state code for the other QSOs, Nagaraj. That is something that you'll have to look into it and ensure before you submit the log. Go ahead, Girish.
Yeah, that's correct. So it'll be
Uh,
alphanumeric for your thing, if I'm right, then number for the receiving side, receiving report.
Girish, Abby Alexander V2ABE again says, when points can be earned for VU contacts, there ought to be multipliers.
So yeah, I mean, I'll be repeating myself, but so we are the idea is to also uh, the the no, I would say the um, I'm not getting the right word, but
Prime
uh,
focus of this
yeah, the
contest is
focus,
working
yeah,
DX.
yeah. The carrot, for lack of better word, sorry, is to work DX, not VU, right? So it's more profitable to work DX. That's how the whole contest has been designed, right?
While it's not discouraged to work
Yeah,
views,
yeah,
because AB, there is certain contests where international contests where working Indians is actually garnering 0 points. I
yeah.
think the All Asia contest that we work, that is conducted by JARL, their working view in the same country carries 0 points. Whether,
You,
but it does not carry a negative mark, but it counts as 0 points. So we are at least going one step above that, maybe.
Yeah, I think overall, Girish, if I can take the freedom of saying that this is the first time that ARSI is attempting to conduct a DX contest. Of course, there'll be a lot of learning for us, this year, and maybe more changes or change in formats and additional features can be brought in the next year. So this year, in fact, it was scheduled for the previous month. It was actually scheduled for the end of August, and incidentally, due to lack of time for announcement and things like that, it was rescheduled for a later date. So that is why this is in end of September. So this is definitely a learning for all of us. So let us see. If anything needs to be changed, we will definitely look into it in the next year's contest.
Okay, Guru Golfiski number wants us to share a format for log for OM template also, and there is one more query from who was this? Okay, just answer that. I'll look up the other one. Girish.
sorry, I didn't hear that. I had a blackout. What was that? Repeat, Madhu, please.
No, Guru Golfiski number wants a template for log for OM, whereas Guru is the same the Cabrillo format that in text format that is going to be put up on the website. The details can be verified against that so that the format is maintained. Guru, I hope what I say is okay, Girish.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, I think if there are no further questions, I think we can uh, thank everybody and conclude this webinar. Madhu, please take it up and you can give a vote of thanks.
Okay, right. One last call for any last questions before we wind up, please, on YouTube. Okay, nothing came up. So, okay, Sandesh Bhatt wants to know whether if they are using the log for OM or any other software, whether the Cabrillo format that is submitted, can they leave out the score field because it's not automatically calculated? Yeah, Girish, right?
Yeah. So the Cabrillo format. Let me share my screen quickly again, if I can. Just a second. Okay. The I think he's referring to the claimed score, right?
Yes,
Um,
same score.
yeah. So that is just a indication because this will be raw score, Sandesh. This will be as per your whatever logging software you use. As per that, whatever scores have been generated. This is not going to have an impact on your final thing because obviously other side has to send the logs. We'll have to do a matching, and then our scores, the scores will get calculated. So this is just your indicated score, has no bearing on the final scoring thing. So in this, the first half, a lot of them are informational, right? The contest name, because we need to match it with correct contest name. The mode power the band is what will be used for placing the category, not from a scoring perspective, from a category perspective. The scoring is only from the entries that we are going to make. The top ones are all, I would say, administrative kind of informational, right?
Jogesh, if you are operating from Alpha 75, you will be the DX. If you are operating from India, you will be VO2 BZY. So you cannot, the other aspects of it. Where you are located decides on your call sign, Jogesh.
Yeah, and on that topic, good, Madhu, I just remembered. So special calls 81, 80, AU, all those are considered VU. You can still operate. It doesn't have to be only VU 2 or VU 3, right? So I remember 83N or somebody's mailed me saying they will be operating as 83 something, which is fine. They for from a DX perspective, that will be considered as VU only. Special
Madhu,
call.
AB has a question. You can just read out that.
Uh, each log must show the following correct date and time in UTC.
No, no, the last
Serial,
point, he says serial number, VU or state code DX. Running
yes,
serial number is not for VU, it is for DX state
Only.
code
Yeah.
yes, yes.
only.
I think the wording, we'll just have a look at it. Abhi, thanks for bringing it into our attention. We'll word it appropriately. Okay, thank you all. I'm sure this has been an interesting session. If you have any other queries that you would like answered regarding this contest, you can always email to contest at arsa.info. Is it contests or contest?
Contests.
Contest, plural,
With a
plural.
with a S.
Contest. Charlie Oscar now, but I'll put it up in the chat. You can mail Girish for any other clarifications. I'm sure he'll support you in getting things set up and going for the contest. We hope we have a large number of participants this year. I hope even a few contacts in the contest will go a long way in promoting this contest and the ARSA activity. Thank you all for participating. Thank you, Girish. Ramesh, for any closing remarks?
No, I want to thank all the 30 plus members who joined this webinar on YouTube. I think we had about 37 or so. Of
40.
course, further on, if anybody has missed this or would like to have a review of the whole thing, they can always go back to YouTube and refer to it. We will invite. There is a group, ARSI contesters group. I mean, contesters. Which was started during the hill topping contest. So we'll send a link in other popular groups. So whoever is contesting can join that and have any discussion and clarification as required. So thank you all. Thank you, Girish, for enlightening us with all the details regarding the contest. We wish more numbers from India to join this contest and make this effort a success. Thanks, KK, V2YUU, who is also on the standby, who's the secretary of ARSI. Thanks, Madhu, and thanks everyone. Bye bye.
Yeah, thanks all.
73 all
Good
round.
night.
See you in
73.
the contest.
See you in the contest. Bye bye.
Yeah, 73 is all round. V2YUU signing off. Bye bye.
40 were in the